Urgent Washington Commanders fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Washington Commanders updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Commanders fans, today we have some truly intriguing developments that you simply can't ignore. If you've been following the team closely, you know that this offseason has been filled with speculation, strategic moves, and the quest to find that perfect mix of talent and grit to push Washington back into playoff contention. But this latest story, the one that's been making waves across NFL circles, is about a player who was largely overlooked last season, a young running back named Kroski Merritt. And trust me, what's happening here could reshape the team's backfield much sooner than anyone expected. So, buckle up, because this story is about to get really interesting. You see, Kroski Merritt, a 7th-round pick, might not have made headlines during the NFL draft process, but the potential that the Commanders see in him is undeniable. It's rare to see such a high level of intrigue around a 7th-rounder, especially one coming into a team with established veterans. But what makes Kroski Merritt so fascinating is his journey, his hurdles, his resilience, and the raw talent that many believe can be molded into something special. Last season was a roller coaster for him. After a promising start at Arizona, things took a nosedive when the NCAA revoked his eligibility after just one game with the Wildcats. That single event sent his draft stock plummeting into the abyss, and suddenly, he was written off by many analysts and scouts. But here's the thing about the NFL, it's a league that loves stories of redemption, players who come back from the brink, and those who prove everyone wrong. And that's exactly what the Commanders are banking on with Kroski Merritt. They see a player with untapped potential, a guy with the size, speed, and agility that, if developed properly, could threaten the current backfield hierarchy. Now, it's important to note that expectations should be tempered. This kid missed most of last season, and he's got a lot to prove. But the energy and the buzz surrounding him are undeniable. The coaching staff, led by head coach Ron Rivera and the offensive coordinators, are said to be very high on his raw ability. They see someone who, if he transitions smoothly into the NFL lifestyle this summer, could be a real game-changer. And this is where things get even more fascinating. ESPN's Matt Miller recently made a bold statement about Kroski Merritt's immediate future. He believes that if everything clicks, if he makes the right impression during training camp, if he adapts quickly to the speed of the game, he might not just be a practice squad player or a camp body. No, Miller suggests that Kroski Merritt could jump right into a role as a special teams ace and a passing down option as early as year one. Imagine that, a 7th-round rookie stepping into a significant role in his first NFL season. That's a story that could energize the fan base and shift the dynamics of the team's backfield. But why is this such a big deal? Well, it ties directly into the current situation with the team's established running backs, particularly Austin Ekler. Ekler, a former undrafted free agent out of Western Colorado, was brought in last season and took on a variety of roles, including kick returns and pass-catching duties. He showed flashes of brilliance, but his performance was inconsistent, and injuries, especially concussions, became a concern. As the season progressed, it became clear that Ekler's regression performance-wise was a red flag. The coaching staff, led by General Manager Martin Mayhew and head coach Ron Rivera, began to look at their long-term options. Ekler's contract is set to expire after this season, and the team can't afford to sit around hoping he'll regain his former dominance. They need a contingency plan, a player who can step in and provide stability. Now, here's where Kroski Merritt enters the picture. If he can develop quickly and impress during training camp and preseason, he might not just be a backup or a special teams player. The team could see him as a potential RB1, someone who, with the right development, can carry the load in future seasons. That's a huge statement for a rookie who's just starting to learn the nuances of the NFL. But it's also a testament to how much belief the Commanders have in his raw talent. Let's not forget the pressure on Ekler, though. This is his final season in Washington, and he's well aware that the team is looking for someone to step up and take his place long-term. Ekler has heard the doubters, the critics who say he's past his prime or that his injury history might prevent him from being the same dynamic player he once was. But he's also got that veteran mentality, understanding what's at stake. He's been through battles, and he knows that this season is crucial for his future. The team, on the other hand, is in a tricky situation. They're not in a position to wait around for Ekler to recapture his best form. They need production now, and they need someone who can be a reliable option for them on the ground, in the passing game, and on special teams. Now, if Kroski Merritt can come in and make an immediate impact, it could be a game-changer not only for this season but for the team's future. Imagine a scenario where a player who was written off last year, who faced NCAA sanctions, steps into the spotlight and becomes a key contributor right away. That's the kind of story that energizes a fan base, that shifts the narrative and creates a ripple effect across the roster. The coaching staff has been emphasizing competition throughout the offseason, and this situation with Kroski Merritt is a perfect example of that philosophy in action. They want to see players earn their spots through performance, effort, and consistency. The best players will be rewarded, and that includes rookies who show they're ready for the challenge. The story of Kroski Merritt also highlights the broader context of the team's rebuild and strategic focus on developing young talent. Washington has been in a bit of a transitional phase over the past few seasons, trying to find that identity after changes at the quarterback position and a roster overhaul. The front office, led by Mayhew and Rivera, are keen on building a sustainable, competitive team rooted in strong draft picks and player development. They've invested in the offensive line, added key pieces in the secondary, and now, it seems, they're banking on their young running back core to be a huge part of their future. Looking at the current roster, the backfield is quite crowded, but also full of potential and uncertainty. Ekler is the known quantity, but he's not a long-term solution if health and performance issues continue. Brian Robinson Jr., the team's workhorse last season, has shown flashes of being a reliable and physical runner, but he's also still developing. Antonio Gibson, who's been both a receiver and a runner, is another piece who could see his role expanded or reduced depending on how things unfold. But Kroski Merritt's emergence, if it happens, could shake up the pecking order dramatically. The coaching staff has been clear that competition breeds excellence, and this is exactly what they're fostering right now. The fans, of course, are eagerly watching all these developments unfold. Everyone wants to see the team finally take that next step and make a real push for the playoffs. The NFC East is arguably one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all vying for supremacy. But Washington believes that with the right mix of young talent and experienced veterans, they can surprise everyone. And stories like Kroski Merritt's could be the catalyst that sparks a new chapter for the franchise. It's about resilience, about believing in second chances, and about trusting the process of growth and development. As we look ahead to the upcoming training camp, the preseason, and eventually the regular season, all eyes will be on Kroski Merritt. Will he seize the moment? Will he be able to adapt quickly and earn a spot on the active roster? Or will he need more time to develop behind the scenes? Whatever happens, the narrative is already compelling. It's a reminder that in the NFL, nothing is set in stone, and opportunities often come from the most unlikely sources. The team's coaching staff is high on his potential, and if he can harness that talent, he might just become a household name sooner than anyone predicted. The broader picture, of course, involves the entire team's strategy. Washington is focused on building a balanced, competitive roster that can contend in the NFC East and beyond. They're emphasizing versatility, speed, and physicality. The front office has made it clear that they're not just looking for short-term fixes but are committed to long-term success. That's why they're giving young players like Kroski Merritt a real shot, to see if they can develop into foundational pieces. And with the NFL's increasing emphasis on dynamic playmakers, it's no surprise that the Commanders are looking to unearth hidden gems in every draft and free agency class. So, fans, the road ahead is full of possibilities. We're about to enter a crucial phase of the offseason, where players will push themselves to impress coaches and secure their roles. Kroski Merritt's story is still being written, but the early signs are promising. The team believes in his potential, and the fan base is eager to see what he can do once the pads go on and the games start counting. This is a pivotal moment for Washington, a chance to turn the page and establish a new identity rooted in youth, competition, and determination. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you believe Kroski Merritt has what it takes to be a game-changer? Are you optimistic about the team's chances this season with these young talents emerging? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the future of the Commanders. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for everything you need to know about your Washington Commanders. This team is on the rise, and with stories like Kroski Merritt's, the future looks brighter than ever. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders!